Every coach I know is using AI to either write posts or create content. It's the most obvious application and everyone's talking about it, and yes, I do it too. But here's what most coaches are missing. The real power of AI is not in creating content, it's in transforming how you run your entire coaching business. And that's how I used AI to add $165,000 without writing a single extra post. Today I'm sharing 5 unconventional ways that I've used AI to transform my coaching business completely. I've been implementing AI in my business for more than a year now, and the results have been staggering. One of my clients went from struggling to articulate her offer to closing a $24,000 client in one call using AI-assisted messaging. Another went from inconsistent 5K months to consistent 30K months in just 90 days using the exact same things that I'm about to share with you. If you're tired of being the bottleneck in your business, these systems are going to be game changers for you. The first unconventional way that I use AI is I use it to capture the words, the vernacular, the exact phrases that perfect prospects or clients use, and I take that and I reverse engineer it back into the offer, into the messaging, into content. Most coaches try to create messaging based on what they think their clients want, but what if you could use the exact language your clients are already using to describe their problems? Here's how it works. I use AI to record my coaching calls and sales calls and all calls that I have with anyone who is either a client or a perfect prospect. I then use AI to transcribe and study those calls to look for patterns, words that the person is using to describe themselves, what's hidden between the lines, what's the secret desire, what's the secret problem, what are their challenges, and what are their objections. The AI pulls out exact words and vernacular they use, not jargon that's used in the industry by anyone and everyone. This gives me a gold mine of authentic languaging that I can then use in messaging and offers. For example, when talking about scaling systems and business optimization, I learned that my clients use the words, "I'm so tired of being the bottleneck, I need to clone myself without losing quality." And when I started using their exact languaging in my marketing, conversion went up by 40%. My messaging suddenly felt like I was reading the minds of my prospects. But this is just scratching the surface of what's actually possible. The second unconventional way that I use AI to scale my business has completely transformed how I run my business, the delivery. I've built AI agent replicas of me, trained on my course modules, all the things that I teach, as well as the way I think. These agents help my clients with anything and everything from offers to messaging to content creation to templates to cheat sheets to navigating to mindset. First of all, what this means is my clients don't need to wait for group calls or one-on-one calls to talk to me. They don't even need to open up Slack to Slack me something. They can just speak to my agent for their problem and get a solution instantly. And the reason why it's revolutionary is because in traditional coaching models, you would have clients sitting and waiting for the call or for the coach to be available to have their question answered. And by the time they would get to the call, if it was 2 days or 3 days or 5 days or whatever, they would lose momentum and they would lose precious implementation time. And with my AI agents, clients get instant feedback, so there's no time lost at all. And they can get as much feedback as they want, as many times as they want. And the third thing is that when they do show up to coaching calls, whether one-on-one or group, me and them can have a strategic higher level discussion about the big things in their business, about the strategy, instead of tiny tactical questions that they want to ask me but are too shy of asking me. One of my clients was struggling with creating his offer and evolving it, and instead of waiting for a call 3 days later, he used an offer creation agent to make his offer, and by the time he showed up on the call, we were celebrating a 10K client that he landed in 3 days. Like, it's nuts, it's insane, it's mind-blowing. And so from a practical point of view, we could then focus on scaling his offer instead of me reviewing his offer. Now, this approach has dramatically increased my client retention because they're getting results faster than ever. And so they're moving faster than ever. And it's allowed me to scale beyond the traditional time for money model of coaching. But to make this truly effective, you need the third unconventional way. And the third unconventional way is how I use AI for pattern recognition, course module creation, and it's been the biggest game changer for the trajectory of my coaching program. I'm obsessed with getting client results, but in a group container, it can sometimes be challenging to identify who's struggling with what and to what degree. And my solution is I use AI to analyze every single coaching call to identify patterns as well as challenges. And it categorizes these issues and ranks them by frequency and impact. For example, last quarter, AI revealed that 68% of my clients were struggling with messaging. but in a very specific way. Some of them couldn't translate their expertise into language that their prospects could understand, while others of them were struggling with having content convert into inbound leads for them. It's very specific. And so instead of guessing what my clients needed, I created a messaging masterclass and multiple modules specifically addressing these problems with implementation and cheat sheets and templates and formats. What's the result? Client implementation rates increased by 73%. And 3 clients landed 8K plus contracts using the new messaging frameworks. And so in a broader context, this approach ensures that I'm always creating modules and content that is highly relevant now for my clients, not what I think they might need or what's worked last year. It's highly data driven and is linked directly to their results and what exactly they need. It's like having a pulse on your community that helps you serve them at a deeper level. And because this helps my clients feel truly understood and supported in a way that they've never been supported before, client retention automatically improves. They stay longer because they get faster results and they get better results and they get relevant coaching. But to make all of this work efficiently, you need the 4th unconventional use, intelligent content repurposing. And it's about combining core ideas with best practices and my personal proven approaches. And so the difference is that most coaches simply use AI to reformat content. Turning a video into a blog post, turning a podcast into snippets, I call that surface level repurposing because it's designed to adapt to the format for turning video into text, text into video, long into short, so on and so forth. What I do instead is to use AI to analyze my highest performing content and why it worked. Was it the story structure, something specific within the content, the call to action, the messaging in it? And then I use it to take these things, combine them with industry best practices and my personal content patterns to create new pieces that sound just like me, that maintain my voice and effectiveness. I had a YouTube video about mindset blocks that performed really well. I used AI to analyze it, and we found out that vulnerability, specific client stories, and the frameworks in that video are actually what allowed it to do really well. It then used that formula to help me create content across various topics using the exact same structure. This approach improved engagement by 52% while reducing my creation time by 65%. Because it's not about creating more content, it's about creating smarter content that converts faster, and it frees up more time for me to focus on high-level strategy as well as client support. But to truly leverage this, you need the 5th unconventional approach that I have towards AI: intelligent grunt work, sorting and categorizing my content and asset library to turn it into a strategic asset instead of a digital junkyard. Because most coaches create content, publish it, and then forget about it. But what if every piece of content you've ever created could be strategically deployed exactly when a prospect needs it or wants it? Here's how I do it. I use AI to analyze, tag, and categorize all my content assets, whether they're YouTube videos or Facebook posts or Twitter tweets. AI identifies the specific problem it addresses, the specific objection it overcomes, and where it fits in the buyer's journey. And then when a client or a prospect tells me they're struggling with a specific issue, I can literally in seconds pull up the most relevant and the most helpful piece of content based on their question and their issue and send it across to them. This is incredible for marketing, sales, nurturing relationships, as well as client support. And so, for example, a prospect recently told me they were struggling with confidence on sales calls. And AI immediately identified 3 YouTube videos, a worksheet, and a client case study to help that prospect with their problem. I sent these over. Next day, they sign on for my program. I also use the system to create plug-and-play templates for my clients from my highest performing content. And they can use these templates knowing that these aren't copy-pasted off of the internet. They're actual templates and frameworks that have worked well in the past, so they're validated, they're battle-tested. And so this is a shift from theoretical advice to practical implementable solutions. And this approach alone has increased my sales conversions by 35% and has dramatically changed client onboarding. New clients feel the love from day one because they get exactly what they need when they need it, no waiting involved. Now, if you're still watching, you clearly understand that AI is far more than a content creation tool. You're ready to use it to strategically transform your business and the way you fulfill clients and scale beyond the traditional limitations of time for money coaching. And so let's quickly recap the 5 unconventional ways that I've used AI to bolt on $165,700 to my business. The first thing, capturing client language to incorporate directly into magnetic offers and messaging. Second, building AI agent replicas of me to provide constant support to clients 24/7. 3, using pattern recognition to create targeted trainings that solve real-time problems and challenges for clients. 4, intelligent content repurposing that maintains what makes my content effective. 5, strategic organization, categorization, and deployment of my asset library for sales, content, and for client requests and client support. And here's what I want you to do now. Start with one of these approaches. Don't try to implement all 5 at once. Pick the one that you think would have the highest impact in the shortest amount of time on your business. If you're struggling with messaging and offers, start with number 1. If you feel like you're the bottleneck, start with number 2. If you're not sure what your community needs and maybe fulfillment is a problem, do number 3. Because the beauty of these systems is they compound over time. As your AI learns more about you, your business, and the clients you serve, it becomes increasingly more valuable, creating an unfair competitive advantage that nobody else can compete with. The coaches who will dominate in the next few years are not going to be coaches who use AI to create content. They're going to be the ones who create deeper human connections, better client results, and a highly efficient, streamlined, and scalable business while maintaining their human touch. Now, if you like this video, I've made another one just like this where I give you prompts and cheat sheets on how to replicate yourself in AI. Check it out. I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.